As 2009 comes to a close, unfortunately, there are people in our community who are entertaining thoughts of harm and destruction toward their fellow men. We are mindful that too often acts of violence have marked the closing of the outgoing year in the Virgin Islands. I'm issuing a clear warning to those individuals or group that may be planning acts of retaliation for what you consider past offenses. Think before you act. Think seriously about the consequences your criminal actions will bring. Think about the pain and suffering that you'll be caused to your victim, their family, your family, and the community at large. Think whether you can live knowing that you have the blood of another human being on your hands. Think whether it is worth spending years in jail away from your loved ones and consider the loss of your freedom. If you're entertaining thoughts of committing unlawful acts, think also of the pledge of the Virgin Islands Police Department officers to relentlessly pursue all lawbreakers. And once apprehended, you will face swift justice. Let us have a safe and violence-free holiday season. Choose the rightful path. And while I'm on the subject of unlawful behavior, I want to notify those of you that practice firing off of shots to announce the coming of the New Year's Eve that you are committing a crime. This practice of discharging shots is illegal and is a very dangerous habit that could easily take the life of an innocent child. If you or anyone you know may be planning to shoot random bullets in the air on New Year's Eve, please do your best to discourage this behavior. The VIPD has a plan in place to identify and arrest violators. While the holidays usually bring happiness and joy of spending time with family and loved ones, for some of our residents, this festive times make them feel sad, depressed, and alone. Please remember that you do not have to isolate yourself. You are part of a larger community, and we encourage you to reach out to family members or seek professional help. Do not turn to alcohol or use controlled substances to release your frustration during this holiday season. This type of behavior can lead to violent outbursts and can lead you to hurt yourself or others. If you make the decision to drink, do so responsibly and choose a designated driver. The life you save on the road may very well be your own. Using the new year as a new beginning, resolve to take charge of your life in a positive way. Reach out to those less fortunate than you. We can create a better community for all of us.
Those of you who are in the listening audience and this community who are very concerned about where we're going today and from henceforth. The Commissioner's marching orders are clear. I want to make it perfectly clear and understanding to the committee that this police department is not asleep. For those individuals, as the Commissioner mentioned, who have plans to interrupt, disturb certain functions that are going to take place, and sitting in conjunction with the U.S. Attorney's Office, U.S. Marshals, the FBI, HIDA, DEA, we have then bonded or formed a relationship where we're going to move forward in actually implementing terrorist charges to individuals who actually start something where there's a significant amount of crowd gathered, whether it's the Juve or the parades. The reason for that is that, as the Commission indicated, based on intelligence that we have obtained, we realize that there are some people who definitely have no regards for anyone, whether or not they were their children or in their private homes with their families. They have taken the violence to another level where they have entered individuals' homes where they want to inflict vengeance or revenge on a particular person in the household, which affects the entire family. The members of the Special Operations Bureau, who are now tasked with taking certain initiatives and moving forward and assisting and working in conjunction with federal agencies, that their rule would be that if you are caught with a gun, it is no longer one of those things that we're going to file in the Superior Court along with the Attorney General's office. We're fortunate the U.S. Attorney has decided, along with the federal agencies, to take those cases. And that means that if you are arrested, that you will then be charged accordingly and transported off this island to a federal penitentiary somewhere in the United States. We'll get you out of here. That's the object right now. Our jails and our tax dollars here in the territory are heavy. Our prisons are overcrowded. And as well as it becomes a problem for every single citizen when you step over that line here and are released based on certain parameters that falls under the U.S. statute or the Virgin Islands statute that doesn't keep you incarcerated the time factor that you need to be there. like the Commissioner said, 16 and under. If you're not accompanied by a responsible adult, and it doesn't mean a person who is 18, 19, or 20 years old, who's drinking and consuming and using drugs as well, that person is responsible for your child. We will revert back to you, the parent, and let you know that if you've allowed your child to go with someone who's not responsible, then you are irresponsible just the same. You must monitor who your children traverse with and what they're into. And some of us would say we didn't know. We don't want to hear that. If you should have known, and it could have been avoided if you had done the right things that you should have done. Know who your children traverse around at all times.
I'm here to basically warn everyone about the dangers of drinking and driving. If you're going to drink during the holiday season, get a designated driver, call a taxi. VIPD, along with the other national law enforcement agencies, will be conducting more checkpoints and saturation patrols throughout the nation and here on the Virgin Islands throughout the Christmas season and afterwards, after the Christmas season is over. We've been doing it for a while, and we will continue to do it.
As far as operations go, we will increase our activities during the season, the festival activities. We will increase our saturated patrols. We will increase our enforcement of traffic violations such as seatbelt enforcement, talking on cell phone, and of course drunk driving. You'll see a number of checkpoints during the course of this, and you'll continue to see them outside of the season, but definitely an increase during it. As far as what you'll see as far as these saturated patrols is you'll see an increase in our checkpoints, but you'll also see that we're going to increase our enforcement in these areas that we have high drug activity or high crime activity. High crime activity could be a number of things, but places that historically we've seen an increase in discharging of shots during the holidays, we'll be vigilant and we'll have increased numbers in those areas. We'll also increase the enforcement, surveillances, and targeting of these peoples, not only buyers, but also, or not only dealers, but also the buyers of controlled substance. It's illegal in the Virgin Islands law to not only sell controlled substance, but to possess it. And we will have zero tolerance, regardless of what the controlled substance is, including marijuana. So if you're an individual who celebrates your festivities with smoking marijuana, there's a good chance that if you're buying it from one of these areas, you may be going to jail as well.